The bright stage of America's Got Talent glows under a sea of moving lights. The theater is packed. Thousands of people whisper in anticipation, waiting for the next act. The judges sit behind the long desk, smiling, relaxed, unaware that they are about to witness something unforgettable. Backstage, a father kneels in front of his young son. They hold hands tightly. "Anak, no matter what happens, I'm proud of you," the father whispers softly. The boy nods, trying to be brave. He looks no older than 12. His small hands tremble slightly, not from fear of singing, but from the weight of the moment. This isn't just a performance. This is their chance. A stage manager signals them. It's time. The father takes a deep breath. He squeezes his son's shoulder. Together, they walk toward the stage entrance. The roar of the audience grows louder with every step. The announcer's voice echoes, "Please welcome a father and son all the way from Manila." The doors open. Bright white lights flood their eyes as they step onto the stage. The applause is polite but curious. The father waves shyly. The son stays close to him, clutching the microphone with both hands. At the judges' table sits Simon Cowell, leaning back in his chair with his usual calm, observant expression. He studies them carefully. Simon speaks first. "Hello, what are your names?" The father clears his throat. "Good evening, sir. My name is Roberto, and this is my son, Miguel." The crowd responds warmly. Miguel gives a small, nervous wave. Simon nods. "And where are you from?" "From Manila, Philippines, sir." A soft murmur moves through the audience. Simon tilts his head slightly. "That's a long way to come. Why did you decide to audition together?" The father pauses. You can see emotion building in his eyes. This is not just a simple question. He takes a deep breath. "Sir, I work at a small construction site back home. Long hours, sometimes 2 jobs. Life is not easy for us." His voice shakes slightly. "But every night, after work, my son sings for me. And when he sings, we forget our problems." The audience grows quiet. The camera zooms in on Miguel's face. He looks up at his father with admiration. Roberto continues. "Music is the only thing that makes us feel rich. Not money, but heart. We came here because this is his dream, and I promised him I would stand beside him." A few audience members already wipe their eyes. Simon leans forward now, more engaged. "So this is your son's dream?" Miguel nods shyly but then speaks into the microphone. "Yes, sir. But it's also my dad's dream. He used to sing when he was young, but he stopped because he had to work." The audience lets out a soft awe. Simon looks at Roberto. "You gave up your dream?" Roberto smiles gently. "When you become a father, sir, your dream becomes your child's future." The room falls completely silent. The judges exchange looks. Even the crew backstage stops moving. Simon folds his hands together thoughtfully. "And what are you going to sing for us tonight?" Roberto looks at his son before answering. "A song about hope." Miguel finally gathers courage. His nervousness slowly transforms into determination. "We want to make our country proud." The audience cheers loudly at that. Simon raises his eyebrows slightly. "Well, we love dreamers on this stage, but remember, this is a big competition." He smiles faintly. "Good luck." Miguel nods. Roberto gently places a reassuring hand on his son's shoulder. The stage lights dim. A single spotlight shines down on them. The theater becomes so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. Backstage, crew members watch the monitor screens closely. Some whisper, "This feels special." Miguel closes his eyes for a moment. Perhaps he's remembering the tiny house in Manila, the warm nights, the sound of tricycles outside, his father coming home exhausted but still smiling when he heard his son sing. Roberto looks out at the massive crowd. For a brief second, fear crosses his face. This is bigger than anything they have ever faced. Bigger than their small neighborhood. bigger than every local contest they entered. But then he looks at his son, and fear disappears. He kneels slightly and whispers, "Sing from your heart." Miguel nods. The pianist backstage prepares. Simon glances at the other judges, then back at the stage. His expression is neutral, but curious. The audience leans forward in their seats. The music is about to begin, and in this quiet, fragile moment, before a single note is sung, the entire theater feels something powerful, hope. Not the loud, flashy kind, but the quiet hope of a father who sacrificed everything. The brave hope of a son carrying his father's unfinished dream. The kind of hope that can change lives. The first piano note is seconds away, and no one in that room, not even Simon, knows that they are about to witness a moment that will soon shock the world. The first piano note echoes softly across the grand stage of America's Got Talent. The spotlight remains fixed on the father and son standing side by side, their shadows stretching long behind them. The theater is completely silent. Even the judges lean forward slightly, sensing that something meaningful is about to unfold. Roberto closes his eyes for half a second. Then he begins to sing. His voice is deep, textured by years of hardship. It isn't perfect in a technical sense, but it carries weight. Every note feels lived in, like it has traveled through long nights of exhaustion and quiet sacrifice. The audience listens carefully. At the judges' table, Simon Cowell maintains a neutral expression at first. He has heard thousands of singers over the years on America's Got Talent. His face often reveals quickly whether he is impressed. Right now, he is simply observing. Roberto sings the first verse alone. His voice trembles slightly, not from weakness, but from emotion. The lyrics speak about dreams that refuse to fade, about storms that cannot drown hope, about light waiting beyond darkness. The camera cuts to Miguel. He watches his father sing with admiration. Then comes the moment. Miguel lifts his microphone. He takes a breath and joins in. His voice is clear, pure, bright like sunrise after a long night. It rises above the piano gently at first, then grows stronger with each phrase. The harmony between father and son is immediate and natural. Two voices from different generations blending into one powerful sound. The audience reacts instantly. A few heads lift in surprise. Simon's eyebrows rise slightly. The second verse grows more intense. Roberto sings the lower harmony while Miguel carries the melody. Their voices wrap around each other, like they've practiced this moment 1,000 times in their small living room back in Manila. The camera shows audience members already wiping tears. Miguel reaches a higher note. He doesn't strain, he doesn't force it, he simply lets it soar. The note fills the theater completely. It vibrates through the seats, through the walls, through the hearts of everyone listening. Simon shifts in his chair. This is no longer just good. This is different. The performance builds. The piano grows stronger. Subtle strings join in the background. The stage lighting slowly changes from soft white to a warm golden glow, almost as if the stage itself understands what is happening. Roberto looks at his son while singing. There's pride in his eyes, but also disbelief, as if he's thinking, is this really happening? Miguel steps slightly forward for the chorus. And then, he delivers a powerful sustained note that no one expected. The audience gasps audibly. One of the judges places a hand over her mouth. Simon leans forward now, elbows on the desk, eyes locked on the stage. His expression is no longer skeptical. It is focused, studying, almost emotional. The harmony returns, stronger than before. Roberto's voice grounds the performance with warmth and depth, while Miguel's voice lifts it toward the ceiling. It feels less like a competition audition, and more like a story unfolding through music. The lyrics reach their most emotional lines, about fathers who sacrifice silently, about children who carry their legacy forward. Roberto's voice cracks slightly on one word, but instead of ruining the moment, it makes it real. The audience feels it. That crack isn't weakness, it's truth. Miguel glances at his father during that moment and gently adjusts his harmony, supporting him musically without missing a beat. It's subtle, but powerful. A son protecting his father through song. The crowd begins to rise slowly to their feet, not because the song is over, but because they can't stay seated anymore. Simon's eyes narrow slightly, not in criticism, but in concentration. He studies every detail: breath control, connection, emotion, control of dynamics. The final chorus approaches. The music drops suddenly to near silence. Only piano, only two voices. Roberto sings softly, "When the world says no." Miguel responds, "We'll say yes." The harmony swells. The orchestra re-enters fully. Lights brighten dramatically. Miguel steps forward into the center spotlight and delivers the biggest note of the night. It's bold, it's controlled, it's breathtaking. The sound echoes across the theater like a wave crashing against cliffs. The audience explodes into applause before the note even ends. But Miguel holds it, and holds it, and holds it, until finally, he releases. Silence. 2 full seconds of complete stunned silence. The kind of silence that only happens when people are overwhelmed. Roberto lowers his microphone slowly. Miguel looks out at the crowd, almost confused by what he's hearing. Then, the theater erupts, a thunderous standing ovation. People scream, people cry. Some clap above their heads. The camera cuts to Simon. He is still seated, but his expression has completely changed. Gone is the reserved judge. In his place is a man visibly moved. He nods slowly to himself, as if acknowledging something rare, something special. He stands, and when Simon Cowell stands, it means something. The roar grows louder. Roberto turns to his son. They stare at each other in disbelief. Miguel's hands shake again, but this time not from nervousness, from realization. They did it, not perfectly, but honestly, not flashy, but powerful. The music fades completely. Confetti hasn't fallen yet. No buzzers have been pressed, but everyone in that room knows this performance has just changed everything, and Simon hasn't even spoken yet.